Suck a look at you.
You're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast.
Are we all right?
Ow! Okay.
We start off today's show with Josh.
Yeah, Josh is doing the intro this week. Hello out there. Thank you very much for joining us. It is June 16th, 2021, and you're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast.
The Jersey Tuck Podcast.
There you go. This week we're rocking a 5-man roster, back to full health, but can't say the same about some teams in the NBA right now. Thanks for following on Spotify, liking on Facebook, subbing on YouTube, and watching live on Twitch, because we are live on Twitch. How's everyone doing this week?
All right.
Eh.
I just enjoyed the ride.
Eh.
Just enjoying the ride. So we got Fred's the last one left in terms of playoff hopes.
Enjoying sports.
Yeah.
Enjoying things, yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying. It's always funny every year. You enjoy it a little bit more. Like enjoying is the word, Mitch. You enjoy it a little bit more when your team's out of it.
It's true. There's no stress.
You just stress about it when your team's in it.
The tight games. The tight games are just like, I just want it to be over. This is hurting my body.
Yeah,
Unless your team came in dead last in the
That's
playoffs
true.
and you're still in.
Everything's a bonus for Fred right now.
It is.
It's like the
I like-
ultimate winner, really.
Yeah.
Dead last. Me and Tyrell know what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to the lottery, but actually not looking
6
forward.
days.
There's the stress that you guys are talking about. That's what we're dealing with right now.
We either get everything or nothing.
Yeah. And
the
knowing
gamble's
the
extra
luck
good.
right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Unfortunately, it'll be nothing.
Yeah.
We can just bank on that situation in Dallas to explode. So
Who's the consensus number the first overall pick this year? It's like is it?
Cade
Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham. It's supposed to be a pretty
Cunningham.
deep draft. So Cade is like your classic 6'8", 6'9", like swingman,
Okay.
can do it all kind of thing. Then Evan Mobley is supposed to go number 2,
You got
1.
someone
I don't know.
green.
So yeah, Evan Mobley's like a 7'3" center or something, and then there's
Really?
that point guard. Who's that in? Who lit up in the college? Suggs.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Forgot.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. So it's literally like if you need a swingman, you need a center, or if you need a point guard. That's
Nice.
So you're taken care of, so that's good.
So is it gonna be kind of come down to whoever's? Is there like a definitive first overall, or is it gonna come down more to positional need?
I don't know about you guys. I think they're saying Cade's like the best talent.
That's what I'm hearing. I feel like people are. I feel like they'd be missing out if they didn't pick Cade. So I think regardless, they'll probably pick him, and maybe move some pieces based on that pick alone. Yeah, like Tyrell said,
Makes
apparently
sense.
it's supposed to be a pretty deep draft.
Yeah. So this
Nice.
this is probably gonna be one of those drafts where the best player ends up being someone a little bit down the road in the middle of the draft somewhere.
I think so. Like Trey and Lucas draft.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Nice.
Noise.
All right, so just like last week, we will, I'm going to attempt once again, to read the playoff picture. So we'll play a little catch up on the playoff picture.
It's called a ketchup song.
All right, so
So metal.
in the
It's called a
NBA,
catch-up song. Man, man, man.
It doesn't sound metal in when you first hear it at the beginning, and then
You
it gets metal.
don't remember Stompin' Tom's metal album?
you got metal ketchup song. All
Everyone's
right,
got to experiment once in a while.
so we have Utah and the Clippers 2-2. We have Phoenix pulling off the sweep.
Swept.
Against Denver. We got Philly and Atlanta. Their series is tied 2-2. We got Milwaukee and Brooklyn. That is a 3-2 series with Brooklyn ahead in a in a pretty wild recent game, which we'll get to soon. On the NHL side of things, we got 2 series left. We got Vegas and the Habs. Vegas is up 1-0, and on the other side of things, we got the Islanders and the Lightning, and that series is tied 1-1. All right. So, shall we take it to the NHL first? Fred, let's get you to talk about a little bit of the whole state of your team, expectations. What are you thinking right now after game 1?
To be honest, I guess my hopes are a little bit higher, to be honest. I think, matching up with a team with Vegas it's going to be hard, but in game 1 alone, Montreal came out flying, to be honest. I think they dominated the first 10 minutes of that game. Had so many good opportunities with Josh Anderson and Caulfield. They all had scoring opportunities, but you just couldn't bury it past Marc-Andre Fleury. He played really, really well that first period. But then it came down to a penalty pretty much, and then it just sucked the life out of the Habs because Montreal's goal is to score the first goal and then lock it down defensively. And
right.
As soon as it was Shea Theodore scored that goal from the point, that was it, man. Montreal playing catch up. Catch up sound. And they just couldn't get it going at all.
Play it again.
It's called a ketchup song.
It gets so much louder. Oh man.
But other than that, man, to be honest, it's game 1. You haven't played any other teams besides what's in your division for the last year. They haven't played each other since 2019. Mm-hmm. So whatever, they feel each other out. Caulfield got on the board with a nice power play goal. So the kids still got it, man. So I think another thing, though, that's really hurt Montreal, though, is not having Jeff Petrie. Defensively, they looked scrambled, and not having your main quarterback offensive defenseman. It's hurting them, but he's going to be back tonight. I'm telling you, if they haven't announced it yet.
I was going to say, have they announced it yet?
No, he said he's game time decision.
Yeah.
But if he comes in, I think it's going to be even if he doesn't shoot, if he can just pass it and just be defensive, I'm happy.
I'm wondering, it really comes down to how well he can play with the injury, right? How much of a target that would be, because I could see Vegas targeting him if he is playing.
Yeah.
No, Petrie.
Oh.
How teams do that. It'll be his side. They dump the puck in, kind of.
Yeah,
thing,
you're right.
I mean?
You're totally right.
Because they're going to try to make him turn around, and they're going to try to hit him. I don't know. They came up flying, like you said in that first game. When I saw that, I was like, man, they might kick the shit out of Vegas. This is going to be a really good series. And you could tell that the crowd, for the first time seeing 22,000 people in the stadium.
Man. The energy in Vegas. It's good.
So awesome.
It was cool, man. It was really cool. So it's cool now to finally see them mixing and matching division plays.
Yeah.
Or players.
It's so nice for both sports now where we're finally getting to the point where it's holy shit, man, I missed this. And you could tell, obviously, the fans missed it as well because they're a bit extra loud. That's going to regress to the mean at some point. But for now, the stadium, every stadium is super loud, way more than usual. It's awesome to see.
And the one in Vegas,
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
That's why the one in Vegas just makes it reinforced. It reminded me how much I actually want to go see a game in Vegas. Because they really don't they pull out all the stops to put on a show. Yeah. Even pre-game and everything. It's pretty cool.
Right.
I would love to see their intermissions.
Yeah.
I bet you it's fun there. You've been to a Senators intermission, not a good time.
No.
Not a good time.
It's not the same.
Is it the lady balancing plates on her head? Is that
no, there's this new guy who has a dance party and invites people into his booth. It's cool.
That's at the
it's
sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but it's all right. But
it's a piss break.
We're here doing that in Ottawa, and then in Vegas they're having freaking knights do battle on the ice.
A bit of a budget difference there.
Yeah.
I wanted to field you a question, Fred. What adjustment do you think Montreal needs to dig deep to find to kind of attempt to be in control of that series? If you were to say one thing to really dig deep and find, what do you think it would be?
A complete offensive forecheck the entire because as soon as Vegas gets possession in the Montreal's defensive zone, they cycle and wear you out. That's what they do. They tire you out, and then while you're tired, they'll start changing their guys out in as you're playing. So it's just like they just wear you out, and they're big and everything, and they're talented. But Montreal, when they do full press, pretty much 3-man up, just on you like dogs, clog everything. That's where I think they'll flourish for sure. That's what I think. That's my my analysis.
I agree with that, man. Yeah, they need to be aggressive.
Yeah,
they got to get that first goal.
Yeah, the first goal is everything. Yeah. Like if they can get the first one.
So on the flip side, I'll ask you, Mitch. What do you think? You just came out of a series with them, with your boys. What do you think's Vegas's biggest concern going into this? What's something they? Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's Carey Price the only game, and that's the biggest concern. Yeah. Like that score would have been a lot higher if it wasn't for Carey Price the first game.
And even the goals that went in were like seeing eye shots and deflections.
Yeah, he didn't have shot chances on us. Carey Price is going to be their biggest concern at this point, is him stealing games.
Right.
I think the defense too. I mean, it is a pretty rough and tumble defense. I don't think they're too worried about that because they got a pretty big forward group there. So I mean, they're not too worried about the physical matchup. I think Habs are like Petrie and that and even Weber. They're all starting to get a beat up now and have some lingering injuries. So I don't think the physical aspect is gonna deter them too much. I really think Carey Price is going to be their biggest worry, because he's the goalie right now that can carry you and steal you games, and that's the big one.
Makes sense. Is that a Price jersey you got on there, Fred? I feel
no. But this guy, he needs to.
Gallagher? It's Gallagher.
Gallagher's going to get a few goals tonight, boys. Feel it.
A few.
He was already irritating. He was already irritating Fleury. Did you see? Fleury had his helmet and just
took it and threw it across the ice. Yeah, I love it.
So this is going to be like it kind of leads into the last question I'll field to Josh. We kind of do this for a few series. Who do you think is going to be like the biggest breakout, kind of the X factor that you really have to keep an eye on in that particular series? Could be Carey Price, like Mitch just mentioned, or who is the plus minus guy that you're really looking for?
I got it.
Let's hear
when he shows up, it can make a difference, because right now I feel like Vegas kind of has like the edge right now. Right. But if Josh Anderson, I actually stopped myself from swearing there.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Holy fuck. If Josh Anderson actually shows up and scores.
That's a bad word.
Hey, we're not on radio anymore. It's fine.
Oh,
anymore.
Yeah. Because he's got looks, right? And like he's gotten good chances. He's fast.
He had one in the first 10 minutes of game one. It was that close from being in the net.
And I think he's one of those players where like if he buries one, it's gonna go to his legs even more.
Right.
There's just something right now, the way he's playing a little bit though, that is just like the confidence is just not quite there. I think he needs something good to happen. He's got to make it happen. If he scores a goal, I think he can make a big difference, because he will really he's the epitome of what Montreal does really well. They defend well, and then they catch you on a counterattack. And nothing's more terrorizing on a counterattack than a giant power forward who can skate faster than everyone else on the ice.
Right.
So,
I like to just add to that right quick, Josh. A few of the analysts around the old NHL were saying that they should scratch him for one game and bring in Evans just to light a fire under his ass. They're on tape. They're like, man, give him a day. Just let him watch from the press box. And I was like, well,
that's risky, man.
Especially for a guy who's like, he has attitude and everything. Like he loves playing hockey.
Jake Evans clear to return?
Well, technically, I think 3 of them are good to go. It's just
there's 3 of them.
Merrill, Petrie, and Evans. 3 of them were all in full contact jerseys at practice today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Has there been any updates on Drouin?
Nothing. He's not coming back.
Okay, no. So someone said they thought they heard he was coming back, but I think that might just been a bit of hearsay.
That's all hearsay. He's not coming back. Even if he did come back, he wouldn't be physically fit. There's no way he'd be able to keep up right now.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
He hasn't been on the ice.
Lineup. No, they wouldn't start him in the lineup. It's not worth it.
So we'll get to predictions in a little bit later. For those who listened to the last pod, you know it's coming. But let's switch to the other side of things in the NHL. Mitch, I remember you mentioning on a previous pod. I can't remember exactly how we framed it, but it's like your thoughts on this series. It's like it's gonna be pretty damn boring if that's what it is.
It hasn't been.
What's your thoughts on that series so far? Any big key things that stand out to you? The Isles and the Lightning, that is.
I don't know. I mean, the two
Zebras.
games. Yeah, but that's all friggin' hockey at this point. I don't know, man. There were two completely different games, to be honest with you. They weren't consistent games. Like, Islanders played a really good game the first game and choked out Tampa. And then the second game was just all fucking penalties and messy plays and like fucking what's his name tossing what was it, Palat or Point into Varlamov?
Oh, it was Point.
Oh, it was
Pellick. It was Pellick. You're right, but he hit Point. Yeah.
Yeah, like hitting a Tampa player into his own goalie and taking him out for the rest of the period and
Messy.
I don't know. And then there was a goal for Tampa they had 6 players clearly in the friggin' play.
7.
Was it 7?
7 on the
yeah.
ice.
Jesus
7 on the
Christ.
ice.
Oh my god.
I'm only supposed to be 5, so I mean, I don't know.
Well, they gotta find playing time for all these players when they have $100 million.
Yeah, that's right.
Zinger.
So I don't know. They're entertaining hockey games. Just the two games have not been consistent yet in regards to comparability. Like I think the Islanders are going to have a more composed shutdown game again next game compared because I think they got 4-1 scored on 4-1 yesterday's game. I don't think that's going to happen again, but it's Tampa. It can easily happen again, but I don't know. Let's see. It has been a good series. It's been pretty fast too, even with the Islanders as being one of the teams, but we'll see.
The two games so far, yesterday we had a 4-2 game for the Lightning, and
4-2, right?
Yeah, Sunday we had 2-1 for the Islanders.
Right.
So
it's funny, like that perfectly highlights the difference between the two teams. Like game 1 was 100% like the Islanders game.
Yeah.
It was lock it down, smother them, like Mitch said, and then the other one was the Tampa game.
Yeah,
score
all
4
power
goals,
play goals. All
power play goals.
That's what they do.
All right. I guess that brings us to actually no, I have one more thing to ask, I guess, about the NHL. So, if you guys could, I think Mitch predicted a final last week for his prediction pint. But if you were to envision a final, who do you think is going to be the healthiest that's going to enter the final? Like, what team is the least depleted right now?
Vegas, 100%.
Yeah,
they
Vegas
have no
has a
injuries.
single
They have
injury.
zero injuries.
Yeah, Vegas got a full lineup.
Crazy.
Yeah.
To be that deep in the playoffs is pretty crazy.
You could say Islanders too, technically.
Right.
But they are missing like their captain. But that was an injury that's happened a while ago that they addressed.
They didn't have the whole playoffs, yeah.
But I think they are. I think there is.
And isn't Boychuk? Is it Boychuk?
Yeah, Boychuk.
There is some Boychuk too. So
I don't think he's gonna play.
But he'd be a good third liner for third pairing.
In
the playoffs because he's a big boy.
Vegas is the healthiest. I mean, the one person they lost in the playoffs was when Graves laid out Janmark, but he came back a game or two later, and he's back. So I mean,
actually, like even Tampa.
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 I don't think Tampa's lost anyone either.
They've all the stars sit out the whole year, right? They got super healthy and now they're fine.
Well, they got Kucherov, who's like, you can say yes, okay, he's come back from injury, but I mean,
I think he's like the best player in the NHL.
He was ready. Yeah, he was spicy. He was ready to come back. He was ready to come back like 2 months ago.
I think he would have passed. He probably. Well, I don't know if he'd be up there with McDavid, but he'd be up there. I think he'd be second in points or a really close.
He's up there with Draisaitl for sure.
I think he'd pass Draisaitl.
I think he's better than Draisaitl.
I just realized something that I need for the podcast's assets. I need some kind of cooking flame noise for hot takes.
Yeah. Like a sizzle.
Yeah.
A sizzle.
Yeah. That'll be
bacon.
yeah. That'll be.
We're gonna get one
for next pod for sure. So, go ahead, Josh.
I was gonna say, then we're gonna overuse it next pod.
Exactly. Like we do with every new sound drop. All right, let's
play the catch-up song again.
I'll play just the quote.
I'm just joking.
It's called a ketchup song.
And that's all we get.
We just get the
Stomp and Tom bit, which is the best bit, so let's be real. All right, let's bring it to the steamy stat.
That stat is steamy. The steamy stat.
There's your sizzle noise.
Oh yeah, that's true. We do have a sizzle noise. So this week for the steamy stat, we have Tyrell giving us a stat. What you got this week?
All right, so this is going to kind of tie into our probably next topic. I think you guys can maybe take a guess. It's not really like a single stat.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a stat sheet.
That works.
Nice.
By Kevin Durant last game. I found an article that kind of breaks down like his historic game. Like he had, I think, 49 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists, three steals, and 2 blocks. And he played every minute of the game, 48 minutes.
Oh, man.
Solid,
Really?
man. He was so good.
And he shot 69%
Nice
from the field.
69 at a full
insane.
game.
Yeah, 48 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and then I just was reading this article here. I noticed another, just like a interesting tidbit of that. He was responsible for 74 points of that, but he scored, it was the second highest scoring triple-double in NBA history.
Whew.
And the first belongs to Russell Westbrook, who was his teammate.
Yeah.
And then Russell scored that triple-double on James Harden.
There you go. It's all interconnected.
All three of them like connected like the dots and like that on the wall there. But yeah, no, I just thought that was like
cool.
And to do it with an injured James Harden and no Kyrie against a fully stocked Milwaukee team.
Amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah, talking about it's funny, all kinds of segues here, but coming off the whole like health and injuries topic, I guess we'll just jump right into that Nets Bucks series that's happening right now. I mean, again, we'll get to it later, but my prediction was not good on this series.
No.
So they tied it up, made it a series. Very impressive from the Bucks in the games leading up. However, last night was really something to behold with Kevin Durant. For him to just take control like that, and I mean Tyrell just read out his stat line. Like, he's a dude that's very easy to hate because of pretty much that one decision. And to a large degree, it's justified because nothing else needs to be said about that because everything has been said already. But that stat line and his impact and his skill level in basketball is just incredible. So it was really awesome to see. And for those who didn't see it, it was him taking control in the fourth quarter because the Bucks were up the whole game. And I said in the TJT chat, I was like, Bucks eye emoji. I was like, take a look.
I thought the game was over.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what I was doing, and I got the notification Durant wills Nets to win over Bucks. I was like, okay, holy crap.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Durant hit a triple with under a minute remaining, and then after that, Chris Middleton did get a couple of attempts. None of them were unbalanced, in good shooting position, but of course, like every little second, you're like, oh my god, is it gonna go in? But I mean, 49 points, 17 rebounds. That's just like that alone. It's like him creating his own opportunities and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how many of those were offensive rebounds, but he was just getting to his spots. Like, it's incredible.
He was the game.
Yeah.
He was the game.
He was.
The numbers like that, he was all over the court.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I got a little sizzle moment for you too. Maybe, just maybe, Giannis is a bit overrated. Maybe he's not a playoff performer.
Whoa.
Maybe he's never performed in the playoffs. Maybe he did deserve those 2 MVPs, but I don't know. Maybe he's just 7 feet tall and can dunk.
Hey, Tyrell,
Holy shit.
I know where you're coming from. That's
He can't even make a free throw because he can't shoot it within
No,
3 seconds.
He doesn't even miss the free throws. He gets violations. Multiple.
That's
He
it.
doesn't take them.
He doesn't take them.
and
No.
we chatted about that on Friday's pod, but like Tyrell, realistically, when was the last time that you've seen that violation called? When was the last time? I don't remember.
I can't. It's got to be like
Years.
last time I've personally seen it is probably like when I was in high school.
Yeah. So
Like-
there you go. I don't know if I've ever seen it called in the NBA with a game that I remember. I can't.
Every time I watch Giannis in the playoffs, I always think back to that James Harden quote when they had that
Yeah.
little beef going on,
Right.
where it was like if I was 7'3" and all I had to do was dunk,
Yeah.
or whatever, and he's like, what I do that takes actual skill. I'm like, he's right. I'm like, Giannis is like a physical presence, but
Yeah.
do you want to? Can you build a team around him? Like they went out and built a team. Like they got Drew, they got PJ, they got Chris Middleton, they got Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
They got just him and a bunch of dogs, man, and they still can't. They can't rely on Giannis to pull them over the hump.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great point, and like you had Drew Holiday, and he underperformed, to be honest. Like he's a good player. He's like an A player. Excellent defender, but like he just couldn't create any offense for himself. And that's the thing too. Like you can rely on Chris Middleton to get a bucket, but like I don't know. Other than that, like you said, Tyrell, like people are gonna start putting question marks on Giannis. The series is 2-3. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And
let's put it
by
into
all
perspective.
rights,
But
yeah.
yeah.
By all rights, like a fully stocked Milwaukee team against like basically Kevin Durant. James Harden shot 1 for 10 and was hobbling.
Yeah. That's a
So
stat.
It'll be the best chance they get.
that was their only
Yeah.
that was their shot.
Yeah.
So unless Giannis watches this tomorrow, I was like, oh, fuck that guy. Something wrong, but no, they're done. Like
Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
I just like thinking back to Miami last year too. Like just
Right.
get absolutely bulldozed by a first year young team really.
And torched
and-
by two young players in specific, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's I'm very interested to see his attitude coming out into the next game. But how about Blake Griffin too? Blake Griffin was excellent in that game. He was sinking threes. I mean, 17 points total, but like he was dunking, cutting, sinking two
He's
or three
happy.
triples. Like, yeah, he's happy.
Yeah.
He's happy, man.
Oh my God, yeah. Blake Griffin and then Jeff Green had 27
Jeff Green.
points, and I'm like,
Jeff,
that's cool. Like
I think Jeff Green hit 7 threes or something like that.
7 for 8. 7 for 8.
Wow.
So that's great. Guard Kevin Durant, but don't let the other guys beat you either.
Yeah.
Like they just laid down and were like, all right, just everyone has a 3. Everyone can shoot.
Jeff Green is one of those vets that, for those who don't know, he's bounced around a lot in the league, and just 34 years old to be like not a star really ever, but 7 threes that works. I gotta say something too. PJ, his stat line for that game, PJ Tucker, his stat line, they brought him in for a defensive presence, which you've seen like the spats with him and KD and stuff like that, and he's done a good job in their wins without a doubt. Being really physical, and the refs are letting him play, so it's working in PJ's favor to a certain degree. But for that game, PJ's stat line for the 3 major stats: 4 rebounds, nothing else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Poking Durant in the eyes.
Yeah.
And he played 33 minutes of that game. So yeah, and he's a dude that's known for excellent efficiency in the corners. For sinking threes, that's not great. So you're gonna need dudes to step up on all angles, and just
It's like everyone rags on James Harden for not being a playoff performer, but like, I've never seen Giannis perform in the playoffs. Really, these guys have got 2 MVPs.
Yeah, performing in the first round is not necessarily performing. It is, but let's be real here. It's the Heat.
Yeah.
So I have a new sound drop this week, and
Ooh.
we'll apply it to Giannis. I don't know how many of you will get this. It's a thing that was bounced around social media. It's really stupid. I found it on Instagram.
Excellent.
I know, Mitch, you're a huge TikToker, so you might
jeez.
you might recognize it.
Backyard against son.
No, it's not that. It's gonna apply to Giannis, and it's
You're not that guy.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not that guy.
so. As of now, Giannis.
You're not that guy.
So I'm the only one that don't know what that is.
I don't know it.
Yeah, it's just a dude being
I don't know.
filmed. I don't really know. It's going super
It's
viral.
a fight. It's a fight in the supermarket or something.
Oh, is that
man.
what it
I don't
is?
know. Yeah, something like that. And the older guys, like, no, you're not that guy. Put that phone away, or something like that. I haven't seen the original.
So let's shift gears to the Suns and Nuggets. The as said in the a little preview part of the show, the Nuggets have been
Swept?
Who called it?
Did you say swept?
I don't know. I don't know
You
if I
did.
call it sweat, but I
Who called
said the
it?
Suns.
Who
I said
did?
the
I
Suns.
don't know.
I said the Suns were gonna win. No one else had the Suns.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah.
Only one.
I got nothing to say on the Suns because I've been wrong. Chris Paul has proved me wrong. Chris Paul might be the like I alluded to a few pods ago. I think Chris Paul might actually be the MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If they go finals, he's probably getting finals MVP or playoff MVP or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Depends.
that game. Go ahead, Mitch.
No, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, for the overall series, I mean, the Suns proved why they were the top seed. I mean, and they're a super deep team. They play technical basketball.
Yeah. And I think one thing that really hurt them was Jamal Murray being out. Sure, it's not like 100% on him being out. Definitely not.
I don't think it would have made a difference to the series overall.
Yeah.
Maybe they wouldn't have got swept.
Yeah,
But-
I think it would have been game like 6 maybe.
Yeah, but
Like-
I think Suns still take it even with Jamal Murray in the lineup.
After all this, us talking about, oh, who knows what's going to happen this year? Because it looks like it's like a wild card, teams, we don't know who we're going to expect in the finals and whatnot. It's all over the place. It literally will probably be 1 and 2. Quite literally 1 and 2. Like it was Utah and the Suns.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
I got to say, though, I think what we were saying earlier about it being, it's like the parity in the NBA is real right now, which is awesome.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it's great.
I mean, it's good though. Like Josh saying, like the conference final would be Utah and Phoenix. I mean, Jesus, that's not like when's the last time you can say Utah
and Phoenix, yeah.
and like even
Yeah.
even like one or the other kind of really in the finals. You know what I mean? Like
I guess Phoenix is. Did Steve Nash ever? Yeah, it's
Western Conference, I think.
Yeah.
And they got in that big
that's
fight.
far. Yeah.
I just think it's great though. Honestly, like no one had any respect for Utah or Phoenix. They were like
100%.
every playoff series around one they were in, and like even towards the end of the season, they're like, oh yeah, they're in first and second, but like, are they really in first and second?
That's
that
all
was
you
the vibe.
heard.
They're like, they're like,
Yeah.
no, I mean like they're facing LeBron, and LeBron's basically the first place team. So like, are they really first? And that's like
It drives
everyone.
me crazy, man.
Isn't that so funny? Like,
there's this thing with the NBA. Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
No, you go.
I'll cut you off, man.
You go ahead.
There's this thing about the NBA where like there's always the but because of the star, because there's the star player on another team. No, that's the real top expected winner, like the big star player.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like they don't give enough credit to teams that are just well built and rounded teams.
100%.
It's like the mantra. It's like the real season doesn't start until the playoffs. That's when the teams really dig in and blah 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 and stuff like that. Which in a lot of cases sometimes yes, but I mean, I don't know. I just found Utah and Phoenix are those teams that just don't get media attention because they're not sexy teams. They don't have the sexy players. They're not the sexy markets. That's pretty much how it goes. I mean,
True.
they were solid teams throughout the whole year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the one thing I was going to bring up about the Jamal Murray's absence is when you compare it to the backcourt of Denver, of Phoenix. Like, you have Chris Paul and Devin Booker up against Will Barton and Monte Morris.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Booker and Chris Paul are like friggin' men possessed now the way they're playing.
Oh man, it's something about like Devin Booker and Trae Young. Once they've got the little taste of the playoffs, those guys really embrace it, and it's awesome to see young dudes who really know how to shift that gear just up by one, and like it's
different game, man.
It is
different game in the playoffs.
Like sure, it's cliche, but it's probably
true.
It's probably justified and true. Let's get to the controversy of the game. Josh reminds me of a controversy segment on the Clubhouse. Anyway.
Controversy.
So Nikola Jokic, the league MVP, he got booted in the third, and it was with 3:52 remaining, and he got assessed a flagrant 2. It took a little bit to decide. You saw Jokic just sitting down on the bench, not saying a word to anyone, just being like. So yeah, it was Cameron Payne that he was trying to strip, and it was unnecessary. Yes, 100%. What happened was it was this big wind up of a steal attempt, I guess, a block, but it was frustration is what it was.
Oh, it was.
And
He even admitted he said he was frustrated, and
here's the picture if you watch it on YouTube. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Even the hand is like
Face like, Daddy, no.
He said himself he was getting a bit frustrated, and
right.
he kind of wanted to turn some momentum, and he wanted to get a hard foul. He didn't want to He didn't want a friggin' a flagrant, but he didn't get a flagrant 2 for grazing Payne's face with his arm when he was going down.
There's a bit of an acting job there.
Oh man, Payne did his best Euro 2020.
Oh man, if I was on the Nuggets, I would have been in his fucking ear while he was on the floor the whole time.
Yeah.
Like calling him everything under the sun, telling him to get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shit's annoying, man.
100%. And let's bring this. Actually, we're going to get to it later in the show, but I want to bring it up here. I don't know if any of you guys saw the clip of Jokic's brothers in the stands.
Oh, man, I was going to say that too. Yeah, that's scary. That's fucking scary. Think Jokic is scary? Look at his fucking brother.
Oh,
family.
And it's shame on me because weeks ago I was mocking Jokic, saying like this is the most intimidating man ever, and it was just like clips of him being like really goofy and stuff like that. And now here he is like smacking a dude, getting tossed. And you got his brothers looking violent, wanting blood in the stands. Very intimidating. Like just lashing out in languages that no one can understand, and being very generally very intimidating. I think they look like big fellas too. I think from what I remember,
they look like European gang members.
Yeah,
they're scary. Well, his one brother is mainly
right. That's why Payne stayed on the ground. He's like, haha.
Isn't there an article or something saying that I think Jokic is the youngest brother, and they used to throw knives in his head when they pissed
Oh my god!
Like, how Scandinavian is that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sounds about right.
Next week on the Jersey Talk, we're throwing knives at each other.
This is how we train you.
Yeah. You want to play basketball? First, you must throw a knife.
You can dodge a knife. You can dodge a ball.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys just general impressions on the toss? I'll read out. This is what the officials saw. They said a wind-up, impact, and follow-through, which led to unnecessary and excessive contact above the shoulders. That's what they used to, explain the flagrant 2. My whole thing is just like, I don't think he meant to aim above the shoulders to his face.
No. Well, go ahead, Tyler.
I think it should have been flagrant 1.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's consensus was. That's what it was going to be.
Yeah, should have been flagrant 1. One, his fucking wingspan is like fucking half the court.
You can't control where those hands go, man.
Of course, it looks like a huge wind up, and yes, he did wind up a little bit. He wanted to get a bit of a hard foul in, but I mean, impact. Come on, the dude's his forearm grazed the top front of his face as he was contacting the basketball.
Yeah,
like I hitting tomahawk pain right across the head. Like
I'm looking forward to the next game that the
stupid. I don't understand, man.
That's
What
gonna
they
be.
saw.
Yeah, I know, and it's awful. And like, sure, you shouldn't treat the MVP any different than anyone else, but it's just a really bad look. You know, like you have a dude that got his MVP not even a week ago prior to that, and then they get him tossed in an elimination game. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It was the third quarter too, wasn't it? Like the last few minutes of the third. So that's an entire quarter. I mean, it could have been a totally different game.
It's true. It's true. And like, sure, they were really on a roll after that, but I agree, it could be a totally different game. Who knows?
I saw a broadcast. It was an American broadcast. I can't remember what show it was. Sports Center were playing, and they were saying it might have been part of my take. I don't know. I can't remember. But they were just talking about how Jokic was kind of trying to use his MVP card, but he's trying to use it a little too soon. Like, you know, like the refs aren't going to treat him. He's like, they're not going to treat him like an MVP yet.
Yeah.
Like the ink is still too fresh on the statue kind of deal.
It's not.
Right.
Like maybe give it another season and he might get some MVP privileges, but right now he's still not going to get that recognition.
They haven't even fabricated the plaque yet.
Yeah, that's right.
One last thing I just want to say about that is Chris Paul looking healthy as ever, looking awesome. And we don't really need to go too in depth about it because, like, I think just prior to that wind up and toss, it was Chris Paul sinking like 3 or 4 straight, like his classic come off a pick and do a little mid range jumper and sink it, and it was a run by him put together. Like, like, dude,
he's so good, man.
He's not young.
He's a Hall of Famer, man.
He's not young.
He's been around for a little bit, and
it's those vet skills, man.
Yeah,
love to see it. It's good stuff. Last series, which we'll just graze over for a little bit. No, it's not all the series, but the Sixers and the Hawks. That's a series that I thought would be mostly dominated by the Sixers. The Hawks have surprised me, as they have in
always
all playoff long. So Trae Young, he didn't have a great game the last game, but he did, or offensively I should say, or personal scoring wise I should say, because he assisted. He had 18 assists.
Is he?
But he was
hurt,
bandaged, man. He was bandaged up so much in that game.
Fred, you showed me, like, honestly, the picture, like, he looked like Casey. Do you guys remember? Yeah, do you guys remember, like, the old, like, Super Mario's movie? Those, like, weird lizard things with the little heads? Like, with the bandages on his shoulders, he looked like one of those. He had his little head and a giant-ass bandage.
Yeah, he was really, there's something going on with that shoulder for sure. And also, on the other side of things, with Embiid, he looked like trash. So Embiid, who is runner-up for the MVP in voting, he shot 4 of 20. And this was including 0 of 12 in the second half. So what that says to me, that meniscus, not 100%.
On that note, though, Joel Embiid has 8 points right now, 4 for 4.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh. And Trae Young's not far behind, 7 points, 2 for 4, 3 for 3 for free throw.
It's a series, boys. It's a series.
It's a series.
Go Hawks.
So I'm going for the Hawks too. But I was gonna say, like, should we have that same conversation we just had about Giannis, about Joel Embiid?
I don't know.
I mean, you can. I feel like the difference between Giannis and Joel Embiid, the skill is there, and the dominance is there. He just can't stay on the court.
Exactly.
He's always hurt, right?
Yeah.
He's always banged up.
And if you compare the two players, like Tyrell said previously, it's brute strength, it's drive into the bucket, it's relying on your pure athleticism, being a bulldog. With Embiid, it's just like, you want, like I've said before, you look up highlight tapes of his post moves. It's beautiful stuff. Like, dude has skills through the roof. So it's just a matter of staying on the court for him, and you just hope that isn't just like, that doesn't ruin his career, because he's so good. He's incredible.
But my only problem with Embiid, he's a bit too emotional.
Yeah.
And he definitely
Got it.
kind of showcased that, like, you can't really tell if it's just like if it's pain from the injury or if it's him kind of like bumming himself out of the game. I saw that too, Mitch, with that game specifically. It's just like it's almost like he gets in a rut and gets in his own head and it's like frustration.
Well, he was frustrated. They showed a clip when he was going off the court. He was telling the Hawks fans to shut the fuck up.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was mouthing as he was mouthing, walking off. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know if he's going back to the bench." But he was like, "Shut the fuck up."
If he
Wow.
lets shit like that though get into his head,
Right.
he's never gonna make it far in the playoffs.
It's true.
Because that's the kind of thing like Trae Young is the perfect player to play him then.
Right? He's just
'Cause
feeding
it's
off.
true.
He's gonna feed off of him and he's gonna get under his skin. Yeah.
I was
Go
taking a
Trae.
sip.
Go Trey.
Go Trae.
And I guess the last thing. Oh, go ahead, Mitch.
Just on the topic of Trey, I just want to bring it. Did anyone see the Huggies packaging? of
I
a
did.
Baby?
I
That
did.
looks exactly like Trey Young.
Oh, yeah.
as
Did
a
you see
baby.
Did you see the caption, Mitch?
No.
Trey Younger.
Oh, I love it. That's
Bravo.
If someone said that this is Trey Young as a baby, it's like, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. That's Trey Young as a baby.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Trey Younger. I died when I saw that. The last thing I'll say about that series, John Collins, hell of a game. That's a dude who we shit on him a lot in the previous pods. We did. He showed up. He put off one of those performances that really energized the guys. Like just two putback dunks. I think like 4. You know, it almost seemed like it was just dunk after dunk after dunk in the second half, and it was just it was good to see him show up and like look like an integral part of the team. So
Still Trey's team, though.
still Trey's team, 100%.
Trey's team.
I just can't believe that was ever a discussion.
I know, and that was this season. That was the beginning of this season.
Yeah, I think it was this season, or maybe late last season.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Let's get to another segment, if I can find. Yes, I can. We're bringing it back this week. We're actually prepared this week for the body count.
Body count.
So, this is actually something that Joel Embiid reacted to live. Let's take a little listen here.
I want to hear it.
No rush here for LA. Leonard, 7 to shoot. Kawhi makes his move. Oh, wow! A major Kawhi light! Oh my goodness! Put a frame on that poster.
So, great call. Great call.
It
there.
is. It's nice.
Yeah, a major Kawhi light. So yeah, that's when he posterized Derek Favors. It was pretty much all over social media. Posterized Derek Favors in their Game 4 win over the Suns. Over the no, not the Suns. Utah.
Close. Yeah.
Brain fart. Yeah.
I was telling all you guys earlier. I was like that. The best part about all of that was just everyone's expressions
Yeah.
around in the game.
The zoom up. I don't know who it was in our chat. Was it you, Alex, or you, Josh?
It was me with the zoom up.
It was
yeah.
just the zoom up in his
Donovan
face.
Mitchell.
I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff.
Those
So
faces, man.
if
Excellent.
I'm not wrong, Kawhi might have 2.
I think he does.
We really got to start marking down like the leaderboards for the body count.
Yeah. Who's gonna tally?
I think the top 2 right now is Giannis and Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And
Tom
2
Wilson
for
one.
2 very
Actually,
different reasons.
I think it may only be Tom Wilson, Giannis, and Kawhi on the body count so far.
Yeah.
Oh no, we had others.
Who?
Corey
There
Perry's
was
knee.
one- Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Trifly.
Trifly, yeah. There's another one.
Oh.
He's like, I'm reliving it.
It's like 2 different things. Like basketball is just like sick dunks, and then hockey's just them like borderline.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, like
It's-
with the
It's like,
hockey
oh,
hits that
sick,
have
and
been.
the other one's like, oh no.
Oh, yeah. With the thing with the big hockey hits this postseason, it's like, oh, is that a serious
It's-
like career-ending
yeah.
injury?
Right?
Oh god.
Right?
Body count, and then there's body count.
Yeah.
It's like,
this is
sad
funny.
body count.
It's like, yeah, body count. Guy goes off and stretcher. Body count on my wrist.
Yeah.
That's slack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. My
Kawhi might have
emotions.
tore his ACL though, eh?
Yeah, I guess I should have mentioned that off the top before
Kawhi?
the preview or the what do you
Heard us
call
on
it? The
that
playoff.
dunk.
So is that what it is?
No
It's
idea.
not a minor thing. He actually tore it.
I think
It's
it's
not
looking
confirmed.
They're not. I think they're gonna play it hush hush. He's out next game for sure. It's his knee. They're saying now.
Yeah.
But
I did hear that. Like he's out for sure next game.
they're gonna play that close to the vest. I mean, they'll probably do that one game at a time, and it might look like he's done for the whole series, but they're not gonna let him know.
It would really suck. And I'm not sure if we mentioned it before, but Chris Paul on the COVID protocol as well. So yeah, two big losses if they actually come to fruition. And
Can I throw in an honorary body count?
You can, absolutely.
Did anyone follow the CONCACAF Haiti versus Canada game?
I did.
Yeah, I saw the highlights.
Do you know who I'm going to talk about for body count? The goalkeeper from Haiti?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's beer league stuff, man. He's going to relive that day for the rest of his life.
I mean, well, it didn't end up making a difference in the end, but still, it's bad.
He was doing us. We should. If we're gonna talk about this just quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
The goalkeeper is from Montreal, and you're like, he did a solid for Canada. That's the going joke, and everyone's like, oh, come on, that guy. Like he wouldn't destroy his reputation.
He's not flying back to Haiti.
No.
He's flying to Montreal now.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm not part of the team anymore.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Alex?
I did.
The old goal? Oh
yeah.
my God.
It's like
was it just like him like it's like, okay, I'm just gonna dribble this back in and like but as a soccer goalie, wouldn't you pick it up?
I don't know what he was doing. I think he was trying to settle it to kind of pass it or kind of boot it back out. But then he
overstepped.
Yeah.
And it went through his legs, right?
Yeah. So like I think it was the turf itself.
I think he tried to be a little cute with and he missed it. And then when he went to switch his legs again, he gave it a are you guys still hearing me? It's saying my internet connection's on.
No, you're good. You just cut out for just a second, but you're back now.
Okay.
It said mine too. It did the same thing.
Oh, okay. It said and then he when he switched his legs again after missing the first time, he like kind of gave it a little extra bump with the heel switch or whatever.
Yeah.
And sent it. I don't know. It's like it's just like he just got all his wires crossed and he was like dancing around the ball.
My favorite was Davies. Like as he was coming in, like the Canadian player, like the striker coming in and just chasing him, and he was like committed to trying like pressure him. But like honestly, it was like out of a video game, like watching him go back and try to stop the ball. As soon as it touched the line, he's just like, yay! Like he scored the goal.
Oh, that poor guy! I feel so bad for him. That was probably one of the worst own goals I've ever seen.
It was awful. It just slowly developed. It's like, oh, this is nothing.
Like, you still had time. You still had time when you fucked up the first time. And you fucked up even worse the second.
He did. He fucked it up twice. He had time to recover.
He had 3 shots at it.
Man.
Hey, we can still say shame on Haiti. It's fine. It's not
a
Canada deal.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's a body count for sure.
I just watched it.
It's brutal stuff.
It's brutal.
That's our first soccer body
counted himself.
Oh, Canada's all hugging there.
Yeah, I know.
Like we did it.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is soccer like, say, like hockey? Say, like the last person to touch it in hockey, if you score on your own net, you get the goal. So who gets the goal in soccer?
No, soccer
they
actually
took it away.
Yeah, no, soccer they actually label it as an own goal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was curious. So, for instance, France just had a game where France won 1-0.
Yeah.
But it was a German own goal. On the score sheet, it literally says the German player.
Yeah, Max Hummel scored own goal. Yeah.
It's like that just make it even worse, right?
Sometimes it sucks because it could just be a deflection off of you. It's kind of
right.
Yeah.
I mean, since how we're already here, why don't we just roll the little stinger?
Hey, bro! Ooh. Hey!
I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go.
Answer the question. Freak out, yo!
So we covered one thing so far on the extra topics, but let's go in the same vein. Let's go to Christian Eriksen.
Oh man,
kind of a big deal. It was one of the bigger stories from the football world.
Boy,
it was shocking.
What about boy?
I like how going into a serious, like, concerning topic. Like, boy. Anyways.
Boy. What are you talking about, 40?
29-year-old Christian Eriksen collapsed during a match between Denmark and Finland on Saturday. So he was he stumbled a bit after like a throw in, and then shortly after, if you saw like the highlights, he slumped right to the ground, and his heart stopped. So
yeah, they said he actually had like cardiac arrest, like he was.
Yeah,
he was dead on the
paddles
pitch.
and everything on him.
Absolutely wild stuff. Finland went on to win the game 1-0, but like that was the major story from that one. And it was crazy. It's scary.
The shocking thing is, the fact that they played the game after that, like, it continued.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think they knew, because I think they said, when did they use the paddles, on the field or afterwards?
No, it was all in the field.
They must have,
Yeah.
It was on the field because everyone formed a circle around him, right? So nobody could see.
I think they knew he was, he must have been responsive because the players were able to continue, but I mean, you could tell it completely changed the atmosphere of the game. Like Finland didn't even celebrate their goal after school when they scored afterwards.
Yeah, Mitch. So what happened was he FaceTimed the guys from the hospital and told the guys to play. He's like, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. He called him. He was like, hey, I'm good.
How long was the delay from the game?
It was 90 minutes. It was an hour and a half.
Oh, they did a full on 90-minute delay because of it. Oh, I didn't realize that.
It was a 90-minute delay. Yeah. So apparently this is what I heard from other like TSN and stuff like that. Yeah, it was like a 90-minute delay, and then he FaceTimed the guys, said, "I'm okay, guys, but I want you guys to play." Because otherwise, I don't think they would. I don't know what would have happened. Like, you don't want to do it.
They just postponed the game.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to an injury that serious, it's just wild to think that you could just continue and play. Like you got to consider everyone's mental, like for the remainder of the game. Like
we watched it in game 1 of the playoffs. Toronto Montreal. It was the same thing. Everyone was visibly shooken up, right?
Yeah. So what you're saying is there should have been at least 2 soccer guys get into a racket. They should have just gotten. They should have just fought and then take the mind off. Actually, just play.
It was so much more classier how they dealt with it on the pitch.
It's night and day. It's night and day, to be real. Like
the Denmark captain too. Like it was all him. Like to start, like he's there trying to do first aid, and then like blocked away, and then he goes straight over to like Christian Eriksen's wife and was just reassuring her. He's like, yeah, he's okay. Like, that's insane.
Did he start CPR on him and
And then, of course, it was the AED. They hooked up to him, and it jumped-started his heart in the first one. That's what the doctor said when they had him on live or whatever.
Thank God, man.
Scary, man.
Well, thank God it was a positive result, because I think he's doing, better than expected, or like he's in stable condition now. So that's good stuff.
Yeah. It's just scary stuff, man. That happens a lot with athletes, man. We've seen it happen in hockey a couple of times.
Beverly.
Yeah,
that one's scary.
Wasn't it the same thing a couple years ago? Cardiac arrest on the bench.
Yeah,
on the bench, just fell over on the bench and.
There's a couple. It's happened 2 years ago before that too. I think it happened to a guy in Detroit. I can't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure it was a guy on the Detroit bench. He completely slumped over. I remember when Andre Pavlik was just standing in his crease. Play was in the opposite side. I don't even know if play was on the go, and he just collapsed.
Right. Yeah,
it's a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's an underlying heart condition there or what. And I've heard stories, like guys have told me before that, like I don't know how many times that my old manager told me the story of a guy who's after having a heart attack twice after on the bench and one right after leaving the dressing room.
Right.
Not simultaneously; these are years apart, but after playing. And also, someone else told me, someone used to play ball. He told me about a guy who was sitting on the bench and had a heart attack and blew in the face and everything like that, or his heart stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's almost like it never happens like mid play. It almost seems like it's when your heart's trying to come
when
to
you calm for a second, like resting heart rate when you're and
then all of a sudden it just like I don't know, your heart stuff. Then like that really scary situation. I don't know if you guys remember. Friend Josh a couple years ago, I think it was over in the KHL, or it was like KHL was like a young league. The kid like collapsed on the ice and I think he ended up dying, but they like had to carry him out and all this shit and rush him. I don't know if you remember that.
Crazy stuff.
That's crazy.
Well, it's just like thank God it came out somewhat positive, and like Josh mentioned, like how they handled it, like all the players circling around and just like giving him a bit of privacy. And you can compare it in so many ways to the Tavares situation because like cameras, newspapers, and like everyone just like doing the shots of like bloody Tavares, like dazed Tavares, and then like you have everything that went on in the Euros. It's night and day, unfortunately. Yeah, but thank God both of those dudes are okay.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. So let's go to the next part of the pick and roll, which is Vladimir Guerrero. Hey, let's be real. This is a Canadian podcast, and if we're talking baseball, it's probably going to be Jays. So if you see that in the future, sorry, but not sorry. That's probably what we're going to be covering, mostly when it comes to the MLB. So,
but for this topic, whether it's Canadian or not, he's still leading.
Yeah, he's an international player.
Yeah, that's right, man.
He's still he is insanely good.
Yeah,
holy,
he's feeling it.
If you're a Jays fan and you're not watching the Jays right now, what are you doing? It's a good time, but there's bullpen issues. Yeah, there's
no.
They're going to address that. They're going to
big bullpen issues.
There's issues, but for the most part, the Jays are the most fun they've been in a long time. The offense is clicking. You're setting records. You're setting franchise records. You're setting MLB. You're leading categories. Like it's a good time to be a Jays fan.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Yeah. To think too that like it is just pitching. Like this team is like a couple of like depth pitchers away from being close. So good. They have like Springer hasn't even been playing.
No, I know, right?
The richest deal like in team history. He hasn't even played. He hasn't played.
They're setting Fenway records, man.
Yeah,
without him.
Yeah.
What was that? Bo with a massive, the massive dinger. I don't know. It was something crazy.
Well, they had 8 home runs. It broke a 120-year Fenway record or something.
Yeah.
Like
it
crazy.
Scored 18 runs. Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
Pretty crazy score when you look at that. And 18 runs is not common.
No.
Yeah. And Alek Manoah is looking great as a new pitcher.
Yeah.
Lots of things to be happy about.
All this also without Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. See, that's the thing when you look at the bullpen, right? Yeah. It'll improve, so we'll just see where it goes.
And speaking of Vladdy too, he's leading the All-Star ballot too. Yeah, man.
It definitely helps that you have a whole country behind you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah. But it's awesome to see, man. It's really cool to see the Canada rally around the Jays because those years 2015, 16, they were special. Or was it 16, 17? I think it was 15, 16 actually.
Maybe
it was a good
bat
time.
flip years, Ben.
Yeah.
Great teams.
Okay.
I
got a question for you, Alex. After you.
I'll read some stats first. He's the youngest player in Blue Jays history with a 3 home run game, and the second youngest player in the last 50 years to do it. Guerrero Jr. is now the youngest player in league history to have 3 home run, 7 RBI game. That's Madeline Coleman from Sports Illustrated.
Wow.
So those stats, crazy stuff.
Love it.
What was your question, Fred?
Oh, I was saying, are you more excited about say this team now, or were you thinking let's say exciting? I guess
right.
Like this team now, or the old Batista Encarnacion of a couple of years ago. Like
it's.
I think this team is going to be better.
It's different when you look at it because that other team, you had Bautista that's been there for a while. You had a couple guys that's been there for a while, and
Encarnacion.
But you had acquisitions that were
Donaldson,
known talent
Tulowitzki.
and it was
David Price.
Look at these dudes coming in, and you kind of got the vibe that it was short term, like it's like win now mode, and that's it. But with this, it's like, man, this is homegrown talent. This is from our
you got
pieces. AAA squads,
you got pieces.
All right? So I don't know. It's different kinds of excitement. That offense back then was like it was crazy. That's the reason why people were watching those games night after night, is because those guys were like superstars. But this one it's just special that they're homegrown, And yeah.
But look at this offense right now.
Yeah, this offense, I feel like
This offense is
anyone
more
in the
exciting.
order can hit a home run at any time. Like, I don't see too many weak links on this team. It's all on the pitching right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If we go on to the next one, we have you seen the Trey Young doing his "Open Your Eyes" taunt to one of the refs in the? I can't remember. I guess it was the last game. It was a call, obviously against the Hawks, and Trey Young had. If you watched on YouTube, he did like the "Open Your Eyes" kind of thing, and he got a little tech for that. So
of course,
that was funny.
Really, you got a tech for that?
Yeah, it was totally worth it. See, some refs are really sensitive, man. They don't want you. I remember a couple
baby boys.
One of the Rockets runs. It was one of the funniest clips. It was one of the refs assessing someone for a foul, and then it showed a clip of Chris Paul like mimicking the ref, and he got teed up for that mimicking. I can't remember which ref it was, but it was some Rockets playoff game. It was incredible. Next up, here's a big one. The Habs have been dubbed by the Canadian government Canada's team.
Of course they did, because Trudeau is a Habs fan.
Really though, it's like
sentiment.
Yeah, it's like Trudeau is controlling the Twitter.
Guys,
shut up, Fred.
It's
Shut
true.
up.
We are
not true.
Who is the king of the North?
And this,
we are Canada's team.
Yeah, I mean, Fred's not wrong at the moment.
No,
I hate this.
you.
It's as nothing, but they do this every year. It's not even just this year with the North Division stuff. They try to do this every year with the last remaining. Who's going to bring the cup back to Canada?
Guys, you're looking at it the wrong way. It was a Canadian division. Montreal are first. We are Canada's team.
I know where you're coming from, but like I know, I hear you, Mitch, and I like year after year. It's like, are you rooting for Canada's last team? It's like, no, I'm not. There's so many. There's like, do you know how many Canadians are in the NHL? Like,
yeah,
that I was gonna say the same thing. That's the thing that drives me crazy about that a little bit too. It's like, it's not about that, because even look at, like, say Vegas, just an example. Vegas's entire lineup is Canadian, except for like Pacioretty.
Pretty sure when the Blues won the cup, like a good 70% of their roster was Canadian as well.
Yeah.
I
team is Canadian.
I remember like
You're missing
years
the
back,
point here.
Was it?
Nah.
Who was it? Was it Tampa and Calgary or Carolina Calgary here during the final? Who was the Tampa? Because I know Edmonton played.
Tampa went against Calgary, wasn't it?
Yeah,
one of them. Either way, I know the American team had more Canadian players than the Canadian team had. Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know. I just hate that sentiment. The media try to push that every year.
Always.
I feel like that almost has to come from. It almost has to come from people who don't watch sports, because you don't understand the loyalty aspect of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
that's a thing. At the end, I was gonna say, like, that's a thing. At the end of the day, it should come down to the individual.
Yeah.
But no one should be saying, "Hey, man, you should be going for Canada's team."
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Leafs fan, I don't give any Leafs fan a hard time for saying, "No, I'm not cheering for the Habs."
Right.
Just because, like, some people have, like, those rivalries just bred in them. Like, you just can't do it, right? Yeah. It's the same, like, because I know a lot of Habs fans, I would never see them ever fucking cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Jesus Christ!
They'd rather be shot. They'd
rather be shot in the face.
That's the thing. Like, it has to be some just like
all of our
tone deaf government official being like, I don't know. To the fact, if someone actually thinks it's like, oh well, there's Canadians left. There's a Canadian franchise left.
But
like,
Canada's government tone deaf? Never. Never.
Yeah.
It's just what annoys me the most too is it feeds America, and they think that we're thinking this.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they'll try to roll it back, like, haha, no cup to Canada, stuff like that. I'm like,
assess your roster, please.
Yes, like, gosh, annoys me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, how to. It's always a funny, like, conversation to have. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like, for me it goes year to year. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I would cheer for the Habs in other years, but this year I'm just salty about salty about the loss in Game 7, that I'm like, I don't know, it's hard for me to do it right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm still recovering.
It's been since '93. Oh, Montreal. Yeah, Montreal won that one too. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more cups in Canada.
Canada's team.
like I needed another thing for the Montreal fans to hang over my head.
But the way you break it down to like trying to say Canada's team, like man, there's no way in hell true Leafs fans are gonna cheer for Habs.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets aren't gonna cheer for the Habs now after what the Habs just did to them.
No.
Ottawa Senators fans don't like the Montreal Canadiens. There's a rivalry there, so they're not going to cheer for them. There's a nice strong there's a nice amount of Bruins fans in Canada. There's no way in hell they're cheering for Habs. So I mean,
That's the funny thing, yeah.
So
it's probably 50-50 or even maybe more people not in Canada not cheering for the Habs.
Let's read off the tweet before just real quick. From literally at Canada on Twitter.
Trudeau's account, is it?
Good luck to Canada's team. The at Canadiens Montreal.
The Canadians.
As they enter the Final Four of the NHL playoffs tonight and proudly represent us in the hunt for the Stanley Cup. All of Canada is behind you. That's not true.
That's the funniest. That's the funniest part. And you know what? Like that's definitely Trudeau, 100%.
Oh yeah,
you gotta give him props because honestly, if I was the prime minister and I was a fan, I would do the exact same shit if Toronto was in the same situation, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I would make it the law.
Yeah.
That you have to wear a Habs jersey. I would ban every other jersey.
Tyrell, if we were prime minister, let's root for Canada's team, the Houston Rockets.
In the Stanley Cup playoff.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, and by the way, Niagara Falls also followed suit. They have the Canadiens colors as well, if you haven't seen.
That's okay.
I say you put the colors on everything. Fucking.
There's no way. There's no way.
Paint the country.
There's no way they did this when Edmonton was in the finals or Calgary were in the finals.
No.
Because Montreal. It's just a good feel good story because we're horrible. We were horrible all season and now we're good. We're like, yay.
It's a real Canadian story.
It's a real Canadian story.
Yeah.
You're in the gutter. You're not good.
Real CBC stuff.
I'm even more envious of like the situation just solely because of the lack of pressure. Like this is so pressure. Good for you because like no matter what, you're just happy.
Yeah.
Like you get to go through the stressful playoffs and not even be mad.
This is what I'm gonna get out of this. It's like, okay, you beat Toronto, the best team in the North, who had 18 more points than you. So awesome, cool. Then you got your colors posted all over the CN Tower. Niagara Falls, man.
That's
I'm like,
win.
whatever. We lost to Vegas.
That's a win.
Well, all right.
What a cruel job.
Now, Fred, I just want to bring this up because I wouldn't put it past Montreal to pull a Dallas Stars next year and not make the playoffs.
And not make playoffs? Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it, man. I mean, if we went by points this year by normal standard, Montreal aren't even in the playoffs.
Oh, I know.
I honestly, I don't even care. Looking at it, I learned one thing, like from this whole season and how this went. Yeah, that too. But that one, like honestly, playoff hockey and regular season hockey are two completely different things.
Hey guys, just let me enjoy this. Podcast. Just let me enjoy this because next year when the division goes back to normal, Montreal might finish last in the division. So just let me have this.
We'll let you have it. And for those watching YouTube, you'll see that Fred is proudly rocking his jersey from week to week. So
I don't think so. I think you're good, Fred.
I don't know.
Seriously?
That's a tough fucking division.
You're talking about Tampa, Florida, Toronto.
No, I didn't say you're gonna win it. I said that you're not gonna finish last.
So
second last. Buffalo. Okay. Second last. Okay, you're right.
And Ottawa.
No, they're going to be good next year.
Let's get to the final topic of the pick and roll. LaMelo Ball grabs the award that I honestly forgot completely about. So LaMelo Ball wins Rookie of the Year. Despite his injury, he ended up playing 51 games out of the shortened season, 15.7 points per game, 6.1 assists. 5.9 rebounds, and I feel it's appropriate to mention that Anthony Edwards, 72 games, 19.3 points per game, Sure. He's obviously the better scorer. 2.9 assists and 4.7 rebounds. So like those
those don't tell culture.
Yeah, those don't tell the whole story. I think it's well deserved. And if you go back, not sure what pod it was, but if you look at our mid-season or whatever it was predictions, I think we got them all. I think between us, we got them all.
Yeah, we joke it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So.
Even Coach of the Year, I did not think they were
guys, we could totally monetize this.
Man. I didn't know what with LeVar Ball doing all his crazy wacky crap. I was kind of turned off the Ball brothers, but he put on a show. It's been great. He's going to be an amazing player going forward. It's going to be exciting.
And like you said about culture, I'm excited for the Hornets. I hope they either develop someone or attract some other talent there. It should be fun. It should be a fun young squad, to be honest. So that does it for the pick and roll. However, don't go anywhere yet. We have a brand new segment that we introduced last week. Yeah. Well, last week. By last week. So
I can't wait for the stinger.
We're rolling that stinger.
Prediction pints. Get your crisp prediction pints.
So the ultra. Oh, and if you're watching on YouTube, Josh is pouring a pint. Beautiful, beautiful fitting.
Get your crisp
prediction. We really need to blow this pod up, so we can actually pay Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. He needs. We need to give him some money. He's well deserved. So we have him in 2 sound drops already. So totally needs it.
We got him in the recording studio up back there, just demanding the paycheck that we just don't have.
We have him locked in a room. Hey,
we out to help me shed.
Patrick, say prediction pints.
Say it.
Prediction
Say it, Patrick.
Get your prediction pints.
Thank you. Close the door.
Say it and you can eat.
We're holding in breaths. Oh God! Well, there's a bit that's going to be reoccurring, I'm sure.
Patrick Stewart bit, yep.
So we still haven't completely put structure on this whole thing. To be completely honest, I forgot most people's predictions from last week. I remember mine, and it is wrong. I said the Bucks weren't going to win another game in the series. That's wrong. So I'm going to say right now that means I lose a pint. So I am -1. You guys, you guys, I believe, had a prediction that was later on down the road. I think it was a finals matchup prediction. So maybe we'll score that later on. Fred, you're raising your hand here. Do you have a question?
But do you remember what my last one was? I said Montreal was going to win game 1, and I was absolutely wrong.
Oh.
Okay.
-1 pint.
Minus one pint for Fred.
I am -1 pint.
So for this week, let's keep it kind of straightforward. Predict an outcome of a game in a series. Like I said, predict if someone's going to win any games in the remaining series. Something that's going to carry over into next week. So does anyone have anything to start us off with this week's edition of Prediction Pints?
Closes out their series in the next 2 games.
What's that, sorry?
Utah closes out the series in the next 2
games.
Okay.
I was gonna say, same thing. Ooh. I don't think Clippers win another game.
No.
That bit me in the ass last time. So, Mitch, are you going to officially demand that as your prediction pint?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Utah. All right. So Utah makes it 4-2.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone gonna make maybe some NHL ones? Throw an NHL one out there.
I'm going to say, this is NBA, but I'm going to say Milwaukee does force Game 7 if Kyrie stays out. That's a good one. If Kyrie's out and James Harden's still hobbling, I'm going to say they're going to win one more.
Okay.
No, KD's just going to end that.
I know, but I think they got one more.
For the sake of the pint.
For the sake of the pint? For the sake of the pint?
For the sake of the pint.
I'm still deciding on mine. I'm not quite sure what I'm leaning towards. Do you have anything you're looking at, Josh?
I'm not gonna say who the winner's going to be, but I'm going to say that the Vegas Montreal series is going to end in 5 games.
Oh, how dare you?
I'll say who the.
I already know your intentions.
You know what I'm thinking.
Let's get you guys as a panel. Should he pick a winner of that series?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
that's
Really?
He knows.
Say
who
your
the winner
truth,
is.
Josh.
say your truth. Yeah, don't hold back.
You know
Talking in
who
riddles.
I already know who he means.
No, that's not necessarily.
Yes, it does. Just say Vegas for the love of God.
Okay, say Montreal then. Say Montreal.
No, but that's not the prediction. The prediction is that it's going to end in 5 games. Montreal could win 4 in a row.
Okay,
That's
that's
true. Okay,
all right. That's
all right,
fair.
sure.
Five
Fair.
games is fair.
With the power of all of Canada at their side.
I'll hop on that train.
If you guys listened to our prior segment about Montreal, you'll understand what his
You know
pick
what?
is.
You know what I'm gonna say. Actually, I'm gonna go bold.
Mitch, don't you have your pint in?
I want to do another point.
Double play.
2
Well,
points.
but if you double down, should you get
Let me
like
break out my notepad.
a 2-pointer.
I'm doing a
a
bold.
2-pointer? Beautiful.
I'm gonna say that there's a sweep curse going around,
Ooh.
and now Montreal will be the ones to be swept by Vegas.
Sweep curse. Wait, because that's always the team that does the sweeping the previous
Gets
round
swept.
gets swept in the
That's
next
true.
round.
I just made note of it. Sweep curse.
That's
real.
I just wrote it down.
Josh.
Jets swept Edmonton. Montreal swept the Jets, and now Vegas are going to sweep Montreal.
And then Vegas are going to get swept in the
And then
final.
Vegas gets swept. I'm not going that bold. I'm not going that bold though.
No, that's funny.
Now that being said, I don't hope Vegas sweeps Montreal. I don't want to see that. I'm just going bold there, but I think it could happen. That's what I'm putting a prediction point there on the hockey side of things. But
I'm going to say Paul George
poops his pants.
Paul George has a mediocre game. And will you guys allow me to have a spread of 17 to 20 points?
Yes, that's no problem.
Okay, that's my prediction point for this week, I think.
He's
gonna not show up when
And we're going to rag on Paul George like the rest of the internet does.
And they're still going to win the game. The Clippers will win.
Yeah, because that's what they've been doing. They've just been proving people wrong. They've been one of those teams this year.
Patty Bevs puts up 35 points.
Ooh, there we go.
not happening. Not putting that one down.
Yeah, no, not gonna lay any money on that.
I'll be more likely to say Patty Bevs punches someone in the face. Out of frustration.
He tries to punch Rudy Gobert in the face, but can't reach him.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that does it for this week's.
I got mine.
Fred. My bad, Fred.
Mine.
You go right ahead. My bad.
For mine. Braden Point is going to have 5 goals or more in this series.
Oh, in series.
In the remaining games?
What's he at right now, though?
I think he only has 1.
Okay, I'll give you
1.
that. Because I'm going to say if he has 3 already, I'm not giving you that one.
No, I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up. No, I think he has like 10 so far, like the playoffs. But I'm pretty sure he only has 1. He scored the one
last game, I think. So what we'll do is we'll keep track. So we'll remember our pints.
Fred's got the notepad.
Fred, if you're watching on YouTube, Fred literally physical notepad, as he mentioned in the he busted it right out whenever Mitch had his second pint down. So yeah, we'll get back to these, and we're gonna make.
Braden Point got 2.
He's got 2 goals in the series so far.
Well, I stand by it then. Still 5 goals or plus. I said 5 or plus goals.
Yeah, well, you never know. It could end in 3 more games.
Well, we won't say 5 plus. What are you gonna say?
I'll give it to you, Fred, but it's not that bold.
Okay, so 5 plus. All right. We'll go with that.
Hey, what if he gets hurt next game?
Well, there you
go. It could happen.
We'll give it to you, Fred.
He almost got hurt last
I
game.
wanted to make a prediction point that Andrei Vasilevsky makes 5 more saves in this series.
That's not the same thing.
That's not the same thing at all.
He makes like 30 of those a game.
No,
you can say a 50 save game. You can say a 50 save game.
It's not the same. game.
It's not guaranteed.
These
I
things
make
are
a
not
prediction
equal.
that Kevin Durant scores a point.
I will. In the next Clippers Utah, I want to put a point down that someone is going to shoot a 3-pointer.
Oh, that's hot. That's
From
hot.
half.
With that hot take,
This is getting derailed.
yeah.
Yeah.
With that hot take, it'll lead us to the end of the Jersey Talk podcast for this week. So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for following on Spotify, liking on Facebook, watching us live on Twitch. Send us a tweet in at the Jersey Talk on Twitter, and that does it. Any closing words, boys?
Who's leading on prediction pints?
We have no idea.
Oh, we know who's losing.
We'll tighten it up. We're gonna tighten it up.
Is this like whose line is it anyways? Where the points
the points don't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna tighten it up next week. 100%.
I want to tally them.
Oh, we will. That and body count. Hey, the segments are gonna get tightened up next week. That's a guarantee. That's an AB guarantee. All right. See you next week, everyone. Bye bye.
Peace. Boom shakalaka.
See ya.